And you mentioned the dynamic environment in the context of workplace services. Who's going to go back to the office? When they go back to the office, what will they expect? What should they expect when they work from home or from somewhere else? How do you develop a productive team, and engaged base of employees? So I know this is an issue that every organization is grappling with since the pandemic began. As we move into 2022, what are some of the flashpoints in this area?
That's a good question. And I guess as ISG, we were lucky. We were born virtual, but we see our clients and other organizations grapple with this topic. So I think, the who knows what the word office will mean in the future? What is the definition of office? What happens to the real estate you own? Do you go there to meet? Do you go there to communicate? I think what's going to happen is our entire work is going to split into dimensions. What has to be done physically together versus virtually together, which is going to take us down a rabbit hole of what has to be done synchronously together and asynchronously together.
Mhm.
And think of it as a matrix where you have physical, virtual, and synchronous, asynchronous. In each quadrant, work will be reimagined. How things get created, how things get brainstormed, delivered, structured, processed, shipped together. We're looking for a major reboot coming out of this.
One thing I've noticed is when we all went virtual, you'd actually say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't be there in person or virtually." And you'd mention this is a virtual event. And I've noticed a change as we lead into 2022, where it's a new normal. People are just dropping that preamble of whether something's virtual or not. It's sort of, it just is. And you're attending something, or you're in a meeting, or you're at a holiday party, and you don't have to
Yeah,
exclamation that, hey, oh, by the way, it's virtual, because now it's sort of like electric toasters were called electric toasters. Now they're just toasters, right? They're electric.
exactly, Paul. And who knows what we go back to after this endemic? I guess this pandemic is getting to be an endemic. Who knows what we go back to? I don't know whether we'll ever go back to a room full of attendees. I think we'll always go back to a room which has a few attendees and some dialing in from everywhere. So, how do workshops happen there? How does whiteboarding happen there? Does whiteboarding happen at all?
We've seen a dramatic change in our event business at ISG that I think resonates with what you just said, because it used to be you'd have to get on a plane, or at least go to wherever we were holding the event for 2 days, and that will still come back. As we just had one of our employees report back, they had a great experience in Las Vegas at the reInvent uh, event that AWS just had. But at the same time, we've seen a huge uptick in attendees, and it's almost like a buffet. People see a 2 day on things like a digital summit, and they'll pick and choose what they care away. There's 10x more engagement by opening up globally and opening it up virtually.